some time. Ain't nothing new, but we move. Weight is there on your face, always so cool, so cool. When you're lost in the pain, don't lose your way. Can't stop the sun from rising, can't stop the bird from flying, can't stop yourself from crying. Like I say, like I say, like I say, there'll be better days, better days, better days. Hello, welcome to this guitar tutorial for Tom Misch's song Better Days. In general, for the tutorial, I'm going to have the chord names up on the screen with the diagrams, and then I'll just focus on the finger positionings. And yeah, let's get into it. So as a general note for this song, what you want to think about when you're strumming is I don't think he's using a pick in the recording, and it's just this sort of gentle thumb alternating up and down. I personally kind of prefer to use my index finger on the up stroke. So if I assume the position of the first chord, it would be sort of like really lightly brushing your thumb down. And then when I strum up, I'm using my index finger. But in general, you have a really loose, relaxed wrist, and yeah, just using your thumb or your index finger as well, like I do. Thinking like this. So for the first chord, you're going to have your ring and your pinky finger in the 4th fret and on strings 5 and 4, and then your index and your middle are going to go into the 2nd fret on the 3rd and 2nd string. So it's a little bit of a stretch, and it starts on beat 1, and he sort of plays this syncopated, if I clap the beat, like bum 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 bum. So it's 1 2 3 4 1 2, and then on 3 and 4 you're going to do 2 down sort of strums with your thumb on this chord here, which I'll have the diagram up. So how I like to play that is I wrap my thumb on the 7th fret of the 6th string. Ring finger is in the 7th fret on the 4th string. Middle finger is on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. And my index finger is on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And you don't want the 5th string to play. So to strum them all out, it sounds like this. I'm also muting the high E string with my index finger, which is kind of just resting against the string like that. So, going from the beginning, this is just the little intro part. And now for beat 1 of bar 3, you're just going to play an E major chord. And this is where he sings, and then you're going to play this little riff. I just like to play it with my thumb. You're going to go open, low E string. I put my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the E string and then slide up to the 4th. So it's, and then you're going to go index finger 2nd fret of the 5th string, ring finger 4th fret of the 5th string, and then use your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So the scale sounds like this. So coming in from before, it's going, you've been down for some time. So it just basically follows the melody. And then after this, I like to sort of do a bass note hit with my thumb and then strum the E chord again. So that sounds like, and then it's after here that he's going to play the next part of the riff, which is ain't nothing new. So what he does there is ain't nothing new is just 2nd fret 5th string, 4th fret 5th string, and then you're going to slide up with your index finger on the 3rd string, the 4th fret to the 6th fret and back. Oh, sorry. And then as the last part of the riff, you're going to go from the 2nd fret on the 3rd string to the 4th fret on the 2nd string. So it's ain't nothing new. and then you sort of want to immediately strum down after you've hit that on this chord here, which I'll have the diagram up as before, but it's essentially identical to the chord in the intro. You're just going to drop your drop your middle finger. So how that goes coming in from the beginning of the verse. You've been down for some time, ain't nothing new. And then he sort of does that syncopated strum, up, down, up, down. And then there's another riff that gets you back into the beginning of the verse again, which is... So that's going to be 2nd fret, 4th fret, 2 hits on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then sort of a pull off from the 4 to the 2 to the E. Now, if you want to be really faithful to the way it's recorded, you might want to play this riff and then slide down with your index finger, because on beat 1 you need to immediately be there for the downstroke. So it's... Anyway, that essentially repeats for the 2nd verse. And then, for the next part, this is where he's singing, and you're lost in the pain. You're going to play this chord here. Again, I'll have the diagram up on screen. Barring the 4th fret with your index finger. Your middle finger is on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Ring finger is on the 6th fret of the 4th string. And then you're going to add your pinky string to the 7th fret of the high E string. So he plays, when you're lost, and then you only play that chord on lost. And then when you say in, he basically, from this chord, he's going to drop his index and, his pinky and middle finger. So it's, when you're lost in. Now you're going to play this chord, which is a really nice chord. And you've got your middle finger on the 4th fret up on the 6th, and then you've got index. Basically, I'm barring the in the 3rd fret strings 4, 3, and 2, and a ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And you basically only want strings 6, 4, 3, 2 to ring out. So it sounds like that. When you're lost in the pain. So what you're doing here is you're playing, this is an F sharp minor, and you're going to, so you're barring in the 2nd fret, and you've got your pinky, you have your ring finger in the 4th fret on the 5th string, and then your pinky is going to do a hammer from the 2nd fret, which is coming from your barred index finger, up to the 4th fret. So it sounds like, in context, that goes. So afterwards it's going to come into this section. So coming in from before, when you're lost in the pain, don't lose your way. So that's basically just going from an E major chord back to sort of only strumming the top few strings of the F sharp minor we just had, and then to a G7 chord, and then sort of sliding up again to a G sharp 7, and then, but you want to kind of, I think it sounds good to hammer on your middle finger and your index finger. So it's, so again, coming from the this chord. So now it comes into the next sort of part, which sounds like this. Can't stop the sun from rising, can't stop the bird from flying. So how that bit goes is you're going to be on this C sharp minor 7 chord. Can't stop the sun. And then as you're singing the sun, you're going to walk that shape down to actually be a B minor. So it's can't Can't stop the sun from rising. And then the next chord is sort of what we had, using the same 7th chord shapes we had up here, just in the 2nd fret. And again, I think the hammer up with your middle finger and your ring finger sounds good. Can't stop the bird from rising. So that part there, the bird, is just going to be straight A major chord, nothing special. And then we have this kind of crunchy chord here, which I'll have the name up on the screen, but essentially you've got your index finger, middle finger on the 4th fret of strings 6 and 4. Ring finger is going to take 5th fret, 3rd string, and your pinky is on the 5th fret, 2nd string. So, coming in from before. Can't stop the sun from rising. Can't stop the bird from flying. Now you're going back to the C sharp minor 7. Can't stop yourself. So that's sort of an interesting walk up into this shape up here. But basically it's going to go, can't stop yourself. That's the timing there. You're going into this shape, which is you have an index finger on the 7th fret, barring most of the 7th fret from the 5th string down. And then your pinky is kind of controlling the hammer up to the 9th fret. So, yeah, so it's can't stop yourself from crying. Now here, you're going to go to, it's basically an A major 7. I think the easiest way to play it, because now I think it sounds best to switch to finger rolls. So you're going to kind of, you only want to hit the 6th string with your thumb wrapped around in the top fret. Alternatively, if you don't want to reach your thumb over like this, you could play it like this. But this is where he's singing, like I say. And you want to make sure that when you're playing this chord, after you hit the roll, you, on the high E string, pluck up to the 5th fret. Like I say, like I say. So this is now a minor 7 shape. You can just bar the entirety of the 4th fret. Personally, I find it a bit easier to play it like this. And then again, you want that 4th fret to 5th fret on the high E string. And then the last time, when he says, like I say, you want to do a finger roll on this same F sharp minor 7 chord you had before, and do the same hammer up with your pinky as we saw before. So that part goes, like I say, like I say, like I say. And then he sort of does it again without the hammers. There'll be better days, better days, better days. And then, yeah, it loops. So that should give you kind of all you need to play around with the song. A final note, like the sort of chord progression we've spoken about, essentially loops again, and it gets a little more rich, and there are 2 guitars playing. So, you know, there are some things, some embellishments that you might want to add and play around with the extensions. For example, you know, when he sings the 2nd verse the 2nd time around, he's sort of, it's actually a, you've been down for some time. You might want to make it an E major 7 as opposed to just an E major. Which is actually, with the other guitar, it's sort of played like with this, the major 7 there. So it's more like a, again, but this shape is a nightmare. So just for illustrating the kinds of things he changes in the 2nd verse. Another note is like in the part where he sings, when you're lost in the pain. You can play around with this and add sort of different, you can change how that high E string note moves. So you could do something like, which is another nice way of doing it. So you kind of, this high note goes, but effectively that's all the parts of the song you need to start jamming along with it. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.